webinars about how to dominate the internet to attract new patients. And let's face it, there's a lot of ways that you can use to dominate that internet space. And today we're going to look at one of the first and basic ones, which is search engine optimization, which is being out there and being seen where your patients are looking for you. Let's face it, the internet and technology has changed not only how we communicate, it's changed how we get information and how we shop for products and services. I mean, previous to this, attracting new patients, it was like Yellow Pages. But Yellow Pages right now is old school, because the majority of people now don't look for you in the Yellow Pages. Well over 95% of the people look for you online. Now here's a quick comparison just to give you an example of 3,019 visits to a test website. Google on organic searches, which means that people typed in keywords looking for specific services or products, 960 people went there compared to 48 pages who came to that website from a Yellow Page referrals. The vast majority of people, and you know this for yourself, you will search online because we're connected. I mean, like Yellow Pages have been replaced with online searches. Right now, everybody's online. We have handheld devices, we have PCs, we have tablets, we have ways that we can hook up to the internet anywhere we are 24/7. So if you want to survive and thrive in the 21st century, you'd embrace technology or you get left behind. So the first step to success here is to master the principle of attraction, which means getting on the first page of Google. Now, Neil, you've been doing this for a long time, and you are an internet marketing guru, and you've written several books on this. Why do you want to be on the first page of Google?
Because that is where the patients are looking. 85% of people who go onto the internet will stop after the first page. If you aren't on the first page of Google, you're not going to get recognized. And the ideal place to be is at the top spot of Google. But if you're on the first page, you have a good shot of being attractive to patients and potential patients who need your services. But you must have as your goal or objective to get on to the first page of Google.
We know there's 3 ways to get on the first page of Google. And if you're not on the first page, you really are invisible to your prospective patients. So the 3 ways to get on the first page of Google are Google Ads. Those are called pay-per-click, and that's where you pay for traffic. You want people to type in specific keywords, you search those keywords, and then you pay Google every time someone clicks on your ad. The next way is to get on Google+, which is the local search. So Google+ will give you a map of where you are, and you can actually program your Google+ to be on that local search and on the first page. And the other way is organic search, and that's the way or where most people go to look for solutions to their problems. They're looking for information, and they go to the organic search. So for argument's sake, if we typed in urologist New Orleans, the first one that comes up is an ad. And we know that a very few amount of people, less than 15%, actually click on the ad. The next place is Google+ local search. And you can see Dr. Neil Baum is right at the top of the Google local search.
Also want to point out, Ron, that after my name are 5 stars, and we will talk at a later date about online reputation management, but I call to the attention of the viewers that you want to have minimum 4 stars, and ideally you want to have 5 stars. So that's, I think, should be a topic for a further discussion.
Definitely. And I know you work very hard at getting those reviews, but what it also does is by having those reviews there, prospective patients can click on that and see all your 5-star reviews. And once they start reading them, why would they go anyplace else? Now the next place is the organic SEO. And you know, for urologist New Orleans, Neil Baum comes up first if you're searching in the New Orleans area. Now if you're searching in Las Vegas for a urologist in New Orleans, you may not get the exact same search results. But if you're in the New Orleans area, Neil Baum's going to come up first. So organic SEO. Like, how do we get on the first page? Like, SEO rankings are dependent on really a lot of factors, both what we call on-page and off-page optimization. And this includes how much you're doing in relation to your competition, how long your website has been active, search engine submissions and content submissions, article submissions, directory submissions, linking strategies. In order to rise in the search ranking, it requires both on-page and off-page optimization in order to meet the requirements of Google. Like, Google's got over 200 different algorithms that determines rankings. Some of them they tell us, some of them they don't. So,
Ron, I want to mention about getting onto the first page of Google, what they look for. They look for constant content submissions, and you said that about the submissions, but it is not something, it's one and done. You must constantly be feeding Dr. Google, and you must constantly be updating and continuously adding content on a regular basis. I believe it should be a minimum of once a month. I try to do at least once a week for the various keywords that you'll just be talking about shortly.
Well, you know something, absolutely correct. And once a week is about the recommended minimum that people should be doing, because Google is looking for authority websites. It wants to send the website visitor that's searching for keywords, it wants to send them to an authority website. It wants them to have a positive search experience on Google. And Google's looking for those websites that are updating content, putting new content on that's keyword relevant. So it's very, very important to update that content. So it's important in your coding, it's important on your images, it's important in your copy and your headlines. Keywords are important for inbound linking, external linking. You also need clean and accurate website coding, as Google looks at that. And this new keyword relevant copy that you were mentioning, Neil, it's very, very important. And most people don't spend the time. They think they put a website up and they're done. That's it. They're finished.
Well, there's two options, for that, Ron. One is the doctor who does it himself, which is how I do it, or you can hire someone, and I believe you are capable of creating that content for the doctor who chooses to contract this out to somebody else. I prefer to do it myself, but there are people like yourself that will create the content for you, unique and special for your practice.
We do that, Neil, and we abide by all the Google rules in creating the content, and we have to make it unique. It can't be copied. Google frowns upon duplicate copies, so it has to be unique. And we will do articles and post them and do all that keyword relevant copy that gets you to the top of Google. But it's a multifaceted area that you've really got to attack. Even your social accounts, and you're familiar with Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, Neil. And you wrote the book on Facebook as far as having a doctor and how it integrates with his practice, and that's very, very important. And I know you are very active in the social media part of the SEO portion. What are some of the things that you do?
Well, one is I try to identify the key words that people are looking at. I want to know what it is that the patient searched on the internet. And I carry a little card with me every day, and I ask them when they came in, what words did they use? And I want to be sure that I have content and tags and categories pertinent to what they are looking for. And you have to constantly query your patients on the words that they use, and then you have to create the copy using those words. For example, if I wanted to attract patients to my practice for the problem of hematuria, is a medical diagnosis, no patient looks that up. They look up when your urine turns red. And so red urine turning red, painful urination, those are the keywords if I wanted to attract patients with hematuria. So you have to use the words that your patients are using, and those are the keywords that will attract patients to your website and to your practice.
Exactly. That's exactly it. You have to type in how they're thinking, and they're thinking, I have a problem, and this is my problem. Also, press releases are important, but when we talk about how to find the keywords, one way of doing it is exactly the way that you're doing it, and there is online help. Like, if you want to find the keywords that people are searching for, you can type in www.adwords.google.com/keyword planner. And, of course, then sign into AdWords and create yourself an account. From there, they'll give you a bunch of different screens. And in this keyword planner, you can search for new keywords and new what they call ad group ideas. So once you type in that, like we're going to type in gynecologist Miami. So that's the product or service. That's the keyword we want to go after. And then a little lower there, it says location, and this is Miami, Florida, United States, because we want to attract people in the Miami area. Now from there, it will give us the searches for that. It'll also tell us how many people are actually searching that keyword phrase every single month. Now, if you notice in the middle, it says gynecologist in Miami, Miami gynecologist. You can actually open up that particular section, and it might have 50, 60, or 70 individual keyword phrases that get you up those 580 searches. So it's not just gynecologist Miami, it's all the individual keywords within that grouping of gynecologist Miami. And if you wanted to actually buy it on pay-per-click, that's how much they tell you you should bid to get in the first place. So if you type in, let's say, urologist New Orleans, which was what Neil would be looking for, it tells us that that specific term, urologist New Orleans, there's 140 average searches, and the competition is considered low, which tells us that not many urologists are actually doing this in New Orleans. Now, there's a different set of keywords called urologist in New Orleans, and approximately 10 are searching for that. And New Orleans, plural, urologist, is another 10. So if you want to incorporate more keywords into your content, more keywords into what you're doing on a regular basis, you will attract secondary people who will be attracted or find you on the website because you'll be placed on the first page of Google. So it's not necessarily just getting the keyword phrases from the top 2 or 3 keywords. There are literally hundreds of keywords that you can go after. And often that's a strategy that we use and other people use as well to just get more qualified traffic to your website. So when we type in New Orleans, urologist New Orleans in Google, again you can see that the pay-per-click ad comes on top. Again you can see Neil Baum comes in second, and Neil Baum is on the top of the search engines. So Neil, I know you want to be on the top of the search engines, and I know that you choose your keywords in a specific fashion. But you're not only on the top for urologist New Orleans, you're on the top for vasectomy New Orleans, you're on the top for the number 1 and number 2 positions for vasectomy. You're going to a particular page on one of them. You're going to a different page, a no scalpel, which it looks like you also wrote content for there. Under New Orleans impotence, you are also in the top of the organic search. Right, you're in number 2 position, right under medicine.net. You're also in a press release that you did way back in July 16th, 2010, which just kind of shows you the importance of every once in a while putting out a press release, because they stay there for a long time. Even prostate cancer New Orleans. If you take a look, Neil is number 2, right behind the cancer.org website. Now, they probably pay thousands and thousands of dollars to get there. You get there in number 2 position. Neil, how do you find content for all the keywords that you're writing all these articles on?
I subscribe to Google Alerts. And in Google Alerts, I put in the 4 topics that are of interest to me. And the 4 topics are prostate disease, vasectomy, erectile dysfunction, impotence, or urinary incontinence. And once a week, I am given articles and press releases of various content that is available, and it is out of those that I write my content that appears on my blog site. Neilbaum.com is my website, and then I have a blog site, Dr. Neil Baum, and that populates my Facebook and my Twitter account. I try to make one YouTube video a month. I have 100 YouTube videos that are available, and so I am constantly updating my content on the internet. The other thing that I do at least once a month, I go in and type in the various keywords, and if I were to type in prostate cancer New Orleans and I'd be off the first page, I go after that. And I start with content, writing articles, doing a YouTube, and usually within 2 weeks I'm back into the first page or the #1 spot. So I am constantly monitoring my position on the internet. And once you are at the #1 spot, you aren't guaranteed that it'll stay there. You have to continuously update and provide content and provide new material. Otherwise, you will slip and be behind. So it is not, I'm from Ohio originally, and in Ohio they have a saying, the farmer's fence is never done. You're always repairing the fence. And I think it's the same thing regarding your website. Your website and your search engine is never taken for granted. You always have to make contributions to it to keep on that first page of Google.
Well, Neil, you do a lot of work for this, and you invest a lot of time and effort. So what kind of results do you get from this?
I see at least 2 to 4 new patients every single day I'm in the office. And every day that I'm in there and someone comes from the internet, it says to me, get writing, make more videos, because I know that it is working. And that's every single day I'm in the office. I get 5 to 8 new patients a day. 2 to 4, or half of all the new patients, come to me from the internet. And these are good patients. These are patients who are pre-qualified, that they know they need my services. They've read about me. They've read my testimonials. They've read my content. They've looked at my videos. So they are already educated about Neil Baum long before we are eyeball to eyeball with each other. It is a very important component of my practice. It is indeed works, and it makes you more productive and certainly more successful, and gives you more enjoyment from your medical practice.
Well, you know, you have a system, and 90% of all failure is a result of the system, not the people. And that's why most doctors aren't on the first page of Google, because they don't have a system. They just kind of do something haphazardly, don't get the results, and then they just don't think about it anymore. But it's your choice what you want to do. If you want to survive and thrive in the 21st century, you have to make a decision. And your decision is to be in front of your prospective patients where they're looking for you. So if you want to keep your doors open, you have to have that constant stream of new patients. So we appreciate your time, and Neil, I do appreciate your time as well. You've been very informative, very helpful, and you know, you mentioned something about always providing content, and they're pre-qualified, and that's because you can attract them. But once they go to your website, you better make sure that you've got a good website that has the information that will convert them, because that's a very, very important part of it. But we've hoped you've received some great value from this presentation, and we look forward to speaking with you if you choose to have a free consultation to discuss how this can work for your practice. You can call us at 877-767-7775. My extension is 102. Or you can go to yourinternetdoctor.com on the Contact Us page, and set up a consultation time. Well, Neil, thank you so much for your time. As always, you're very, very informative, and you truly are an internet marketing wizard. Thanks again, Neil.
Thank you, Ron.